Hello guys, how are you? Today we are in live here in ESENtaxa, as always, Wednesdays. Okay, so let's see today if we have how many persons are connected and how many questions we can reply. So today I just want to talk about news that we are going to release a new online course. Basically, this would be course on the Inpatriate regime, in particular, how to self-certify correctly that you have all the requirements to apply the Inpatriate regime. Okay. So it's very important that basically whenever you apply for the Inpatriate regime, you self-certified correctly every single tax clarification, tax requirements, and that you basically follow the most important law regulamentations. If you don't, if you fail, you might risk to receive an audit from the Italian tax agency, and this audit actually could cost you a lot. Tomorrow, I think it's planned another video in which I'm going to explain you with numbers how much is the damage in case you don't fulfill correctly all the requirements of the Inpatriate regime. So we are going to show you with numbers exactly what is the damage, what is the failure. This is very important and it's very scary. So because I want to show you guys that this is not a joke, this is a very important tax regime. It's a huge tax discount, but whenever the Italian tax agency gives you a huge tax discount, it means that from the other side, he wants to make sure that you are correctly fulfill all the requirements and you are basically, you move to Italy through a genuine repatriation. Okay, and not you just move to Italy just because you want to avoid taxes. So that's the reason why they are so harsh in case they try to audit you, they try to check if you have all the requirements for the Inpatriate regime. So with this course, you will be able by yourself to understand, because it's a course that explains you step by step what to do, what kind of documentation you have to archive, what kind of steps you have to follow, and know exactly what is the behavior that you have to maintain during your journey in Italy. Why are you living in Italy? In order to respect the Inpatriate regime. So it's very important. It will be released the next week. Most likely, we will also insert the link in the description of this live. I really recommend you guys to look at this course, to download this course, because it's very, very important to avoid to pay thousands of euros in fine, interest, legal interest, just because you forget one single requirement that was hidden in the law, it was hidden in some tax clarification, okay? So this is very important. We want to avoid this kind of situation. We basically, from the next week onwards, we are going to dismantle the service eligibility test that we have in our calendar option. So basically, the self-certification will be done through the online course. And you can have, along with the online course, one consultancy with us in case something is not clear, or in case you have a specific scenario that was not even described in the course. But the course will basically cover 99% of the cases. We had a lot of clients with all the possible scenarios. So we gather all the situation all together, and we made it in such a way that you, for sure, you will find yourself in the situation described in the course. So it will be basically very easy. It's basically 1 hour and a half of video courses. And basically, you just have to follow the step, and you will be basically bulletproofed once you are moved to Italy, once you will become Italian tax resident, okay? What else I want to add here in this live? I want to also mention that a lot of people try to exploit the Inpatriate regime just with this famous 183 days limit. Most of the people are trying to say, well, I moved to Italy, I want to apply for the Inpatriate regime, it's fine, I have all the requirements, it's fine, but I would like to know if the famous 183 days, it's something that can be checked or not from the Italian tax agency. Well, in certain scenarios, it's difficult for them to check where you are physically, especially if you're living in Schengen area. If you want to move out of Italy and you're still remaining in Schengen area and European Union. But it's still something that we discourage. It's a behavior that we don't want to we don't want you find you in gray area zones. We don't want you having in a situation where in the future the tax agency asks you to prove where you were in a certain month of the year. It could happen. So always try to avoid border limit situations, even though from the practical point of view, for them, it's very difficult to check your position because they don't track you with the GPS, of course. But still, don't put yourself in the borderline situation, which you stay just 180 days plus 1 day. I stay in the border. I had a client that he wants to stay in the border between Slovenia and in Italy, just stay one step one day and another step in the other day. Come on, this kind of situation are practically a little bit crazy, and then it's up to you, because tomorrow you will realize how much is the damage in case you don't fulfill all the requirements. I gathered up all the numbers, I put the numbers together, I made an example so you know exactly why you should not have fun with the requirements of the Inpatriate regime. Okay, let's see if we have some questions. I already received 2 questions here today. Let's see. From Juventino. Okay, hi guys. Unfortunately, won't make for this live. Don't worry, because anyway, this will be recorded. You can rewatch it in a second moment. But I have a question. I will move to Italy in October, but I got a rental flat and the Codice Fiscale already in July. When should I open a VAT? Okay, I think here there is also a hidden question in this. There are 2 questions here. First of all, the Codice Fiscale, if it affects or not your tax residence. A lot of people are asking us this kind of question. The Codice Fiscale doesn't affect any tax residence. The Codice Fiscale can be assigned to you, either you are a tax resident or not tax resident. It's just a way for the Italian tax agency to identify you with a number. Either you're receiving an income from Italy and you're not living in Italy, you're not tax resident. Either you're living in Italy and you have multiple incomes, and the tax agency wants to cross-check yourself with the incomes. And whenever you are obliged to give the tax code, for example, in this case, when you rent your flat, when you purchase a car, when you have some goods that might be taken into account in case they want to check your capacity, revenue capacity. For example, the Italian tax agency, sometimes they check how much you have declared in your Italian tax file return and how many things you possess, like cars, houses, boats. And then I want to see if your revenue is coherent. And they can do this cross-check thanks to the tax code. That's why the tax code is used for this purpose. And how many bank accounts you have. So basically any kind of product linked with your tax code. Going to the next question, when I should open the VAT. We always suggest, in the best scenario, to open your VAT at the beginning of the year, January. Why? Because there are two problems here. If you open a VAT at the end of the year, you're not Italian tax resident, but you start paying taxes only on the Italian income. So you pay the ordinary Italian taxes, but you will still tax resident in your country of origin. So you have to then declare the Italian earnings in your country of origin. Okay. Vice versa, if you're moving to Italy before July, so before the famous 183 days, but you are, let's say, in February or March, you can start opening the VAT in March, no problem. But in Italy, you have to declare, because you become Italian tax resident, you have to declare eventual income that you have earned from January to March. So that income, that part of income is coming from your country of origin. And in Italy, you have to combine your foreign income from the first 2 or 3 months plus the moment you open the VAT onwards. Okay, so previous year, you have the reverse. In your country of origin, you declare your Italian incomes. Instead, if you start in March or April, you will become Italian tax resident, but you have to also declare your foreign income from your country of origin, because Italy taxes you on worldwide income. Unless you're coming from Panama or Lebanon, there are few exceptions in the world where country tax you only and exclusively on territorial basis. So this is the exception of the rule. Let's see the second question. How can I certify myself to be able to apply for the regime when I don't own high school university degree? Okay, if you are a European citizen, you can basically prove 24 consecutive months of working abroad. So this can be also an alternative in case you don't have a university degree or diploma. For all the rest of the people with no European citizenship, they also have the degree. Unfortunately, the law gives this extra element for those who are not citizen of any European Union countries. Okay. We have a third question. Let's say I cancel my job in Germany and I go to Italy. I was never tax relevant there, but I'm from Italy. So I will start as a freelancer with IT consulting from Italy with German customers. Okay, wait. Let me reread. Let's say I cancel my job in Germany and I go to Italy. Can you please specify when you want to do this? In which moment of the year? Beginning of the year, half year, the end of the year? Because this makes all the difference. Huh? So you can please specify this on this question when I want. Then we have multiple scenarios. Huh? Cancel my job in Germany and I wasn't never tax relevant. Well, look, if you, as I said before, the best things to do is to move to Italy in January at the beginning of the year, because in this way you don't have to combine the eventual income from Germany with the income from Italy, yeah? And you don't need to make one of the tax IRPEF taxation higher. This is the first thing. And then the second reason is that it's more complicated sometimes to find which is the imposable, the correct number on the German declaration to be also inserted in the Italian tax file return. This is the first complexity. Of course, you can move in another moment, as I said with the previous example. You can open a VAT position. Then you can check with us if you are benefiting from the Forfait Regime, for the Inpatriate regime, or any other kind of regimes that allow you to pay less taxes compared to Germany. Okay, I believe because that's the reason why you want to move to Italy, because either you like the country or because you would like to pay less taxes compared to Germany. I know that Germany withdraw a lot of taxes, or because of both reasons. Huh? This is also another thing. The question is, the Inpatriate regime works if I was never taxed there. Okay, the Inpatriate regime requires you to stay outside the 2 previous years. Huh? So if you were not tax resident 2 previous years in Italy, then you just fulfill one of the requirements of the Inpatriate regime. Okay, so that's the answer basically. Keep in mind that the Inpatriate regime has several requirements. As I said at the beginning of this live, we will provide you an eligibility test that allows you to understand if you have all the requirements to apply the Inpatriate regime. It's not just the tax resident in the previous 2 years. There are a lot of other things hidden in the law. The Italian tax agency made this tax regime a little bit complicated, but in reverse, you're going to have a huge tax discount. Just I want to remember in the last 2 minutes of this live, if you move in the south of Italy, you will have 90% of your income tax-free and only 10% of your earnings income or your professional income taxed in Italy. Okay. Instead, if you move in the north of Italy or center of Italy, which is from Rome onwards, so from the region of Lazio moving up to the north, the 70% of your income is tax-free, and only 30% of your income will be taxable under the RPF taxation. For sure, it's one of the basically the best tax regime that are now existing in Europe. The other second one, the favorite one, is the NHR in Portugal. But with this, if you fulfill all the requirements with this regime, basically you can live in Italy almost tax-free. And she said, okay, I want to go in Abruzzo, which is basically, yes, Abruzzo belongs to the south of Italy. So yeah, you will get 90% deduction if you fulfill all the requirements. As always, I remember you guys, if you fulfill all the requirements, then you can apply the Inpatriate regime at 90% deduction if you relocate in Abruzzo. Abruzzo is one of the regions belonging to the south of Italy. Okay, I think the live, it's done. 50 minutes. As always, every Wednesday, we will try to keep this appointment with you guys. For any questions, you will have our email contact, info@esentaxa.com, in the description below this live. And also, you can book a call with us, a 50-minute call. We can start gather up your complexity, your situation, your scenario. We can try to optimize with you your taxes if you want to relocate to Italy, or if you want to move as well in Portugal, Albania, or Belgium. That's it, guys, for today. Stay tuned for the next week and for my next video, in which I'm going to talk to you exactly what happens if you fail the Inpatriate regime. See you guys, and have a nice evening.